Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kylie. I'm an author, AuthorTuber, audiobook narrator of over 350 titles, a mom, and a professional nerd. Always. So, NanoWrimo is over. Everybody take a deep collective breath. Win, lose, draw. Drop out. Rebel. Just... It is December 1st, which means NanoWrimo is officially over, but planner season and planning season is upon us. But in this video, I'm going to give you my thoughts and feelings about how this NanoWrimo went for me. So the last NanoWrimo that I participated in was 2020. I was pregnant with my first. I am now pregnant again with my second. And 2001, 2002, just not happening. 2001, newborn, still getting that vibe. And plus we were over in Illinois visiting family for about a week and a half. And then 2022, we were again with family, moved cross country, and with an almost 2-year-old, just did not have the mental capacity or the creative desire. So this year I chose a project that both excited and intimidated me. I had options between two projects. Number one, I could have gone back to the Claymore Saga and picked up the rewrites where they were and been a rebel, or I could have started fresh with a brand new fantasy that I have been plotting for over a year now. And the time just never felt right to actually sit down and write it. So NanoWrimo seemed like a really good excuse. One of the choosing factors in choosing the fantasy was that I had been out of writing practice for so long that I really didn't trust myself to go back into some really good rewrites rusty. So I didn't want there to be a shift after the first 37,000 words of tone and voice and in the quality of writing. So I told myself, hey, get back into the flow of writing, write something fresh, write something new, and we can go back to Claymore and look at that at a later date. So I'm really, really happy that I chose Project Star, which is a fantasy. It will be a series, but it's the first book of the series. And wow, guys, she took off on me, and I am so happy that she did. How did I feel at the start of NanoWrimo this year? Like I said, I was intimidated by this book. The first scene really was important to me because I had two ways I could start this, and the way that I was leaning, I wasn't 100% sure if I wanted to do that or not. They always say arrive late, leave early, to kind of give you that cliffhanger for the leaving and that sense of tension and excitement for the coming into a book. So I kind of did a little bit of both, and it worked out really well. I also was like, yeah, I'm gonna crush this, I'm gonna do this. I had a plan set in place. I still had my full-time audio gigs to do. I was pregnant through this whole thing, and I still had my toddler to take care of full-time, plus husband and helping him out with the house and things. So it's a lot, but people find the time to do it. So for me, I was just like, I need to try. I can't be intimidated by not writing because the timing that I want to do it isn't exactly convenient for me, or you know, my kids come first. So I have to be very mindful that my time either has to come after they go to sleep on their naps or prior to them waking. So I say them, but it's just one right now, but there will be two. So I really scheduled my writing time majority at night. Some mornings I did get up if I wanted to like double down on those days. And I did do a couple of writing sessions during the day when I had the time, because when my son naps, I have to do audio. I have to record. Luckily, this is December 1st, so I'm giving myself kind of like a reset day, but tomorrow I've got to jump right back into audio. After I record this, I'm going to be doing some post-production on a book to get wrapped up by the end of the weekend. So it's just constant, and I have my own habits, and writing has been so not a habit the last couple of years that this has been a really nice place for me to get that writing habit kind of back. So at the beginning, I felt really good. I felt really energized, which is how we all start out. We all have visions of grandeur and all of these plans and ideas of what's going to happen. And then between week 2 and 3, reality strikes. The newness and the nuance wears off of Nano, and you're just like, you either have gotten ahead, you know, you've done a really good base the first week and a half that you can kind of ease off yourself, or life has just smacked you upside the head and you're like, well, this isn't going how I planned it at all. NanoWrimo this year was not split up like a regular Monday through Friday first week. It was actually, I think Wednesday was the first day or Thursday was the first day, something like that. And it ended yesterday, which was a Thursday. So when I say, you know, we usually slow down by weeks 2 and 3, my technical weeks 3 and 4 were the weeks where I had the most problem. And in that final half week of the end, I really had to buckle down and get it done. A lot of things that happened were 100% unavoidable, out of my control, and I just had to accept the slowdown process. Son is going through a little bit of a sleep regression. He seems to have pulled out of it, so cross your fingers for that. And then I was just tired. Like, I was doing 5:30 mornings to 10 o'clock nights, and I just realized, girl, you are pregnant. You need your sleep. Your baby needs her sleep, her rest. She needs her mama. Full capacity, running at max capacity, and cheating myself of sleep to chase a goal of 50,000 words as fast as I possibly can is not sustainable. And I accepted that, and I sat with it, and I became okay with it. So the last day of Nano, I think I had about 2,700 words I still had to write. And that morning on the 30th, which was yesterday, I got up at 6:30, wrote about just a hair under 2,000 words in the morning, and I got my final 700 on the first half of my son's nap. So we finished by the last day. The fastest Nano I've ever personally done was writing the Claymore book one or two, and it was done by November 21st, which meant that Nano I got like 65 to 70,000 words out of it, because I had so much more space behind toward the end of Nano, but also I did not have a little at the moment. I was pregnant with the first one, so I had plenty of time to rest during the day, and I had plenty of time to just veg out on the couch and write while still doing audio, but there wasn't that extra person that needed to be looked after. And that is something that we as creatives, especially as moms, have to think about, because you need to be able to fill your cup as well. But I know how hard it is with a tiny person, and to have that work-life balance. because yesterday I even went down and I laid down for half an hour, just laid down. I didn't even sleep. I just laid down and rested. And my mind was still racing, like, oh, you could be using this time to do this. You should be doing this. But I know what I need the most is rest and recuperation and recovery. So sometimes we have to go tell that little voice of guilt to go F itself and to leave us alone, because we can't be super people all the time. I mean, as we're pretty awesome, us as content creators and creators in general, but we're not superhumans. We do require food, water, and rest, and showers. So definitely take care of yourself. So what have I gleaned from this NanoWrimo that I am going to take forward into the camps next year and Nano? So for moi, I will not be doing camp NanoWrimo in April. I will have just given birth at some point in the middle of March to my daughter, and I will be on maternity leave, which means no audio, no writing unless I'm like, ooh, the inspiration hits. It's literally going to be me recovering, getting to know my new little person, having her brother learn the new little person, the new family dynamic in the house, having two and not one, whole spiel of breastfeeding again, and yeah, sleep. Sleep is going to become, another one of those obstacles with the newborns, the up and the down, and we're just going to be focused in on that. So I will not be doing Camp Nano in April. I might set myself a low goal in June or July to do the second camp. And that'll probably be either revisions or plotting the second book of Project Star, or going back to Claymore and working on revisions for that book. Real Nano next year, cannot say one way or the other because she will only be 7 or 8 months old at that point. And yeah, it's a lot of adjustment, a lot of pivoting. So this year I'm really, really grateful that I was able to do Nano pretty much the way that I thought it would go. Moving forward, however, I do want to stop focusing on getting the word count as quickly as possible. NanoWrimo was set up to be the 1 month out of the year where people who have always said they wanted to write a book or always dreamed about wanting to write a book could have a designated time to say, okay, this month I am going to set a goal of 50,000 words for myself, and I'm going to just see where this takes me. Sometimes the ideas that we think are grand only end up as novellas. Sometimes the ideas that we think are not worth writing turn into sagas. It's just based on you and how you work and how attached and how close and how invested and how much the story speaks to you. So instead of chasing 50,000 words as fast as possible, from now on, I do believe I'm going to be working on a healthier writing work-life balance. Because for me, getting really, really, really good numbers the first week and a half, doubling down one day, hitting the Halloween, the Nano Eve writing prior to midnight when Nano starts. I did do that this year. It was super fun to do it again, because I remember watching people like Kate Kavanaugh and that crew do their live write-ins on Halloween and Nano Eve when I first started doing Nano. So it was kind of like nostalgic, and it was a really nice callback to simpler times. So yeah, moving forward, I am definitely going to be focusing on a more maintainable pace. And if I win, I win. If I don't, I don't. I really wanted to win this year, only so I had an excuse to go get my nails done for the Christmas season, because I don't usually get my nails done. I'm in water all the time having kids, and cleaning up after a toddler is, yeah, you're pretty much constantly in water or washing them. So, but I really wanted to do that and reward myself, pamper myself this Christmas season. I could have done it anyway, but for me, this makes it more worth it. That's just really the main reason why I wanted to win. My husband was like, well, what's your big, reward to yourself when you do it? I was like, getting my nails done. He goes, oh, that'd be nice, because I got my keyboard for 10 and 20,000. And then I got my planner from Erin Condren for next year with my 30-40. So I combined my goals this year to get myself a little bit bigger things, but they're things that I wanted / utilize / need. Planner is important. And this keyboard has absolutely been like incredibly amazing. I love the feel of it. It's so easy and it clicks. So I can hear the words as I write them, which is fabulous. So that is what I am going to be working on going forward for NanoWrimo, as well as in my daily life. Now that NanoWrimo is over, I still have 30 to 35,000 words of this book to write. Like, let me show y'all still what I have left of my quick flash. Yeah, you see all those quick flash? That is still all scenes that I have not yet gotten to. And I am 50,000 words in. Granted, some of these note cards do double up. The scenes happen one right after the other, or if I have a really important emotional point or character reaction that I want to have happen after a certain scene, I have also notated those in there. So it's not just all like scenes. It can be like main character is overwhelmed by his kindness and doesn't know what to think, so she just breaks down into tears, as an example. That's not necessarily a scene, that is a reaction to the scene that just happened. And those to me are important to make sure that they get down, because it's her character development and also her reacting to his character development. So yeah, not all of them are scenes. Some of them are reactionary and emotionary. I don't even know if that's a word. But yeah, so we still have a lot to go. And I'm excited. I'm going to take the next couple of days, which is the weekend, to reset, recenter, reground, to wrap up an audio project and start a new one. And yeah, then I will most definitely, probably Monday of next week, which is the 4th, jump right back into trying to get at least 2,000 words a day on my manuscript, because I can conceivably write in an hour 2,000 words. My average word count, I don't have it. Oh, I do have it. My average word count for 25-minute sprint was between 900 words on the low side and 1,100 words on the high side. So that means I could technically write just under 2,000 or just a little bit over 2,000, which is beautiful. For where I am in my writing career versus work-life balance, that is wonderful. Would I love to be able to increase it? Of course, but right now we're going to work with what we got. And this seems to be working. So it also proved to me that even though I couldn't write whenever I wanted to, whenever the whim struck me, when I sat down to write, I was able to write well, write words, and write quickly, and write the scenes that meant something. One of the things I am super proud of myself this nano, which I think the outline was clutch, is I wrote every single scene that is necessary to push the story forward. There might be a few chapters that I can tighten and pare down to be more concise and less wordy or less dialogue-y, but this is the first time I've written to have every chapter be intentional by design of the outline, and for that I am eternally grateful, especially when you have a genre word count to hit between 85 and 100,000 words for fantasy. And I was thinking this might be just fantasy, this might be YA, and actually looking at the guidelines now, it's probably going to fall into new adult fantasy, which both frightens me and excites me because of how well new adult fantasy is doing currently. That is what I have gleaned from NanoWrimo this year. NanoWrimo 2023 is over, and now NanoWrimo, as some people like to call it, is underway. So this year I have actually signed up and will be taking Sarah Cannon's HB90 course. I have followed her method for years. It is the only reason why I was able to be productive as a mother to a newborn with severe postpartum, is because of her system. But since I have one on the way, I really want to pare down and get intentional. The quote that I put on my 2024 planner is be intentional. I want less to be more, and that is how we are treating 2024. Kind of rhymes. So if you had a great NanoWrimo, fantastic. If you felt like you crashed and burned, don't worry about it. The only person you are competing against is yourself, and you got words in. That's a win, because not everybody can start a book. Not everybody puts their ideas to paper. So be nice to yourself, pat yourself on the back. There are 2 camps coming up in 2024, plus another Nano in November, and lots of writing sprints going on in the AuthorTube community. Join them, have fun with them, but don't forget the joy of writing. Don't make it so word count focused you lose sight of things. So from me to you guys, one love.